Welcome back to Third Phase of Moon. Blake Cousins here. We got a special report distant to Third Phase of Moon. Yes, we're on the road trip heading to Sholo to meet up with Travis Walton, the famous abductee. We're going to be asking him questions unlike anybody's asked him before, including more updates in regards to Stephen Greer and our new documentary, Above Top Secret, which is blowing up on all streaming platforms right now. But let's get to the first UFO sighting into Third Phase of Moon right now. Guys, take a look at this. What the F is this? Third Phase of Moon's breaking down what looks to be an incredible display of the phenomenon. A black circle surrounded by a luminescent light. You can see the cars in brake mode. They're looking at it. They can't explain what's going on, and neither can I. And we're here with Doc Skinner right in Sholo, Arizona. We're going to be going over incredible evidence tonight, but what's going on here? This is incredible. First thoughts, Doc Skinner.
Well, I'm actually seeing this for the very first time, and I am flabbergasted because I've seen smoke rings, but not with a black interior like that. I don't know what to say on this one. God, this is, like I said, this is the first time I'm seeing this. How is it that there's such a dark cavern-looking space within this ring? I mean, it can't be a trick of light, could it? And
yeah, you're right. Right on, Doc. This is great performance right here. This is some of the best video I've seen this past week. We've been on the road trip, and right now we're hanging out with Doc Skinner in Sholo, Arizona. We just traveled almost 300 miles, and we're sharing it with Doc right now, and we're all looking at this for the first time. Look at this ring of fire, and inside is this black mass that looks something otherworldly. I wonder if people were on the ground, if there's multiple videos of this, and if so, we sure want to see it. You know, what's incredible too is we're going to rule out any kind of CGI. In my opinion, what we're looking at is legit footage, and that's why we're sharing it with you. We don't have the answers for you of exactly what's going on in the sky, but some people might speculate that there's a rip or a tear in the sky, opening up some kind of portal. But again, this is speculation, but look at this dramatic video. The phenomenon is real. Any other words on this, Doc? I see you're kind of jaw dropped here.
It does. It does look like the representation of a portal or an opening of a gateway, a stargate in some sort. And, you know, we've discussed them in the past here on the show, but this is a really amazing visual representation, I think, if we were to imagine what a tear in time and space would look like. And the fact that it is so dark, I mean, you don't see any stars or anything. It's like, where does that go? Now, part of me wants to say, well, is it a trick of lighting? If it was lighting, you would still be able to see the same contrast on the outside of the ring as you would on the interior of the ring, and we don't see that. That is either a large solid mass, let's say, or possibly a portal. I didn't know how you guys were going to top the other night's video with the space pod, and I am flabbergasted on this.
Yeah, it's pretty badass. Right now we have Doc Skinner, and we're going over the report in real time with everybody. Hey, give us a big thumbs up in the chat room. Let us know you're appreciating the content we're delivering right now. Absolutely. Being on the road and dealing with multiple things at the same time, which we've got an update for you in just a few moments of exactly what we're doing over here in Third Phase Moon. And it's going to be quite a wild ride. But again, guys, can I get your opinions in the chat room? Incredible capture by the public submitted to us. And this is an incredible capture, and it is indeed the phenomenon in real time. Guys, I want to get your opinion. What do you think was captured in this incredible video just submitted? Is it something natural or is it something otherworldly? That's what we want to find out. Now, that being said, the world is lighting up. The UFO activity is on the rise, and we've got more videos. So let's roll this again. We're going to get a closer look. We see multiple lights appear and reappear moving across the screen, but I'm zooming in closer and slowing things down to highlight this particular object that comes in very quickly. And as you look at it, it seems to pass behind the contrails, chemtrails, whatever you call it, but it gives size to whatever this craft is. Watch, once again, behind the trails, in my opinion, as we're enhancing it. So this is giving some kind of size to whatever this craft is. It's not pollen or a bird. This is high in altitude, 20 to 30,000 feet. Doc, what's your first impressions here?
Well, it is. It looks definitely like it's flying behind the trail, the chemtrail, contrail, whatever you want to call it. And that gives it a great distance, meaning it's beyond this plane. So it has a little bit of scale. I'm saying maybe like a small jet fighter plane in size, because you're looking at a very larger plane that's doing the contrail, and they're a lot larger. So whatever it is, it did go past from behind, so it's far away. Maybe a Tic Tac?
Yeah, it's good. Doc, we're looking at this closely, and what I find a little fascinating about this, it's not traveling in a straight line. It almost takes a dip. It's coming in from the top right corner and then kind of makes its way to the left, and which is curious. Just like Fravor said when he is flanking the Tic Tac, he said it could create maneuvers left and right, up and down. It almost looks like it was skipping on the water. This is unique. Again, if this is beyond the chemtrail, this thing's amazing, whatever this craft is. When people come along this cliff line, they say they see strange lights among the ridges of the mountains. What could they be? Right now, we're not seeing any kind of activity at the moment, but we're going to be keeping our eyes peeled tonight. We'll be keeping you updated of what we capture, but let's get to the next UFO sighting just into third phase moon, guys. Watch this. Captured on security cam of some kind of celestial event streaking across the night sky. But what is it? Is this something normal? In my opinion, it just seems to be some kind of rock falling from outer space, but some people might speculate it could be some kind of space debris or maybe a UFO crashing. We're sharing this with you just because we like the capture of this.
Yeah, well, I would definitely say it has the characteristics of a meteorite coming into our atmosphere. You see the wideness of the light as it gets to a certain layer of the atmosphere. Maybe that's an explosion. But it could also be something coming down crashing, maybe a satellite. There's so many options, but it is an interesting capture.
Yeah, we get these anomalies all the time, captured from around the world, dash cam videos, seeing celestial events hit the night sky. This was one just to throw out there. Hey, it's unidentified, it's still unique, and anything celestial that's hitting our planet, we're interested in it. So if you see anything like this, we need a second look, and we need to kind of like calculate what's really going on above our skies. Now we're kind of breaking into something that we dropped the other day, and somebody gave us an awesome representation of this flying pod, as we called it, a CGI representation of what this craft looked like. The artist really took his own imagination, and it really matches to what we're looking at here. That's right, Brent. And as we're looking at the original footage, before we get to the artist's representation of what he thinks is captured within this authentic video, people are stating that you could almost see some kind of ET or some kind of spindly little small guy in this pod, as I dubbed it the other night. But look how far it is up in the sky. Doc, before we get to the rendition, what do you make of this?
Well, I actually watched this last night for the very first time live on my show. I was blown away because of the clarity of it and the fact that it was taken so far away. The zoom is amazing, but that you guys were able to take it, stabilize the video so it's easier to view, and you can see the detail in it as you do in this CGI representation of this object. And I didn't see it at first until I saw the filters, I guess you could say, that enhance the image. And sure as you can believe, there are the eyes, the nose, the mouth, and the hand that is raised up. It's, I guess, against the glass, maybe. But this is probably one of my top 5 of all videos that I've seen you guys do. And yeah, if you look at that representation there, the CGI, which is fantastic. If you didn't have the occupant on board, it looks like a futuristic space helmet with a beautiful glass shield. And the fact that it's been seen more than once, as you see in this video, shooting, I think, in South America, these have been around for a long time.
Yeah, you brought up the idea of the witch being seen across America, South America, but could this craft be misrepresented as the witch, but more pod-like, as we're looking at this, again, CGI recreation of what the actual video is representing. And this is interesting because that's what it almost looks like, that there's a ET on board piloting this thing. And look, once again, in other locations around the world, guys, this is a very interesting case, and it's hard to debunk. Look at this, a side-by-side comparison. I think it could be the same craft, and it was mistaken as a witch or some kind of paranormal activity, but this looks like something otherworldly, if you ask me. Again, the gleam of light, you could see something within the craft almost moving around, but then this new photo that has come up from a really cool artist trying to figure out exactly the design of the craft. And here it is once again. It's very sleek in design. Doc?
Kind of makes me think of Halo, the helmet in Halo in a sense. But it also makes me think, is this, we can see it occupies one individual of some sort. Now, is this a scout ship? Or is this maybe an escape pod from a mothership? And he's a little lost. But whatever it is one of the most compelling videos I've seen in a while. It reminds me also of the technology that the Air Force worked on years ago for the single-man hovering machines or aircraft. But this is slicker, and I'm just blown away at the zoom that we're able to get this quality. This is what I wish we could get all the time. I know it's not possible, but this is by far my top 5 favorites.
Absolutely incredible video. And thanks for having us here, Doc. And I know you had a podcast today, and we did a little surprise guest show up to it. And let's just take a quick look at that. Say that's a satellite and say this is a UFO and try to convince people. None of that. They're debunking satellites, airplanes, anything they could debunk, they were wanting to, for sure. They were looking for points. We all scattered out in the desert to look around and see if we could see our own thing with our own eyes, with our own small little group anybody's ever seen before. And then again, the testimony is very, we have this emotion that's so raw. People are breaking down, crying because of the experiences.
Want to see these first 2 films and then anticipate the third one.
It's going to be...
These movies do not do that, what I was mentioning earlier. Everything in there is something new. And
so it was great to meet up with Doc Skinner today, and we're looking forward to meeting up with Travis Walton. Thanks to Doc. He made a call to Luke, and Luke's the son of Travis Walton, and man, we might have unprecedented access into Travis Walton himself. And we're going to be beginning to shoot this episode exclusively on Third Phase Moon coming up in a few days. So buckle up for that. Make sure you subscribe. But again, Doc Skinner's, he's got his YouTube channel, 1028 Productions. We're going to be supplying the original link below in the description. But Travis Walton, he's been in the field for a long time. He's controversial, but maybe we'll learn something different, because I think after talking to his son, the access that we'll be getting, there's going to be some new insight, in my opinion. Doc, are you looking forward to this?
Oh, yes. I've known Travis for a few years now, and the fact that we've been told that we're going to have a little more access than the norm actually surprised me. And I'm really, really stoked about this encounter that we're going to have.
Yeah, I know we got the equipment. We're going to be on location. It's going to look high end, and we're going to be dropping this very soon. As soon as we get this in production, we're going to keep you guys all updated on when this drops. And it's going to be coming out as soon as possible, right, Doc?
Absolutely. Sooner the better.
Pretty wild country out here in Arizona. We're heading up to Show Low once again to meet up with the famous abductee, Travis Walton. Does he have anything new to bring to the table? Well, we've got some questions that I think he hasn't ever responded to. So we're gonna share that with you in the next day or so. But guys, keep your eyes on the sky, be safe, and if you've captured anything amazing out there, submit it to us. My email is in the description. Keep your eyes on the skies, everybody. Blake Cousins. We'll see ya next time.
If the crash retrievals are true, then all bets are off.
It's very hard for people to get their minds around where the real power is. And it's not at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. The reality is something much more stark.
They've been working on this for 60, 70, perhaps 80 years.
The reason why the government is talking about these UFOs now, they're getting ready for the next level of war.
Are these objects a national security concern?
They're proffering a narrative of a national security threat that doesn't exist.
I call them alien reproduction vehicles. They're made by private corporations somewhere on this planet.
Technology from Roswell from 1947 has largely been held back from us.
Portal technology, teleportation, whatever you can imagine, it's already been done.
The biggest secrets are not the zero-point energy and electrogravitics. It's the science of consciousness. All their communication systems are moving through the consciousness field and are thought actuated. The people at the CIA call it WSFM, weird science and frickin' magic. The transdimensional interstellar technology will benefit humanity.
There has been tremendous disinformation.
The media is keeping secrets with the government.
These are lethal, vicious people. And I'm focused on exposing the extraordinary technologies that they want to keep secret. No aspect of life on Earth will be unaffected by it.